Welcome to a journey of discovery, one that might change how you see everything around you. What if the reality you experience isn't the whole truth? What if hidden forces are constantly shaping your thoughts, actions, and even your deepest beliefs? In this exploration, we'll uncover the forces that construct our reality and how you can begin to see through the illusion. Reality isn't as objective as we'd like to believe. It's shaped by layers of influence, external and internal forces that filter our perception and create a subjective experience unique to each of us. Think of reality as an onion with multiple layers, and yes, like an onion, sometimes examining reality too closely can make you cry. Unlike Shrek, we can't just claim ogres have layers and call it a day. We actually have to peel back these layers. Societal norms on the outside, media influences beneath that, then our subconscious beliefs, and at the core, spiritual truths waiting to be discovered. Each person's experience of the world is filtered through these layers, creating not an objective reality, but a personal interpretation of what's real. And most of us never question these filters. Let's examine the external forces first, the most visible shapers of our perception. Media and propaganda function as powerful reality-shaping tools. News outlets and social media platforms don't simply report facts. They present carefully constructed narratives that influence public opinion and behavior in subtle yet profound ways. Consider how algorithms create personalized content feeds that reinforce existing beliefs. My algorithm apparently thinks I'm obsessed with videos of people falling downstairs and cats being startled by cucumbers. I watched one video, algorithm 1. But seriously, these digital bubbles narrow our perception of what's possible, normal, or true. This creates echo chambers where certain viewpoints are amplified while others are silenced. Over time, these digital bubbles narrow our perception of what's possible, normal, or true. Cultural norms and societal expectations further constrain our reality. From childhood, we're taught what's normal or acceptable within our culture. These unwritten rules shape our behavior so completely that we rarely question them. They become invisible constraints on our perception. Think about it. How many of your daily choices do you believe are freely made? The clothes you wear, the food you eat, the career you pursue? How many of these decisions are truly yours? And how many are influenced by advertising, peer pressure, or societal expectations? The illusion of choice is perhaps the most powerful deception. We believe we're making independent decisions while external forces subtly guide our thoughts and actions. The breakfast cereal you chose this morning was likely influenced by advertisements you've seen hundreds of times. You thought you picked that cereal because you loved the taste, but really it's because a cartoon tiger convinced your 5-year-old self it was great. And now, decades later, you're still under the spell of a tiger with questionable nutritional credentials. The route you take to work might be determined by app algorithms optimizing your journey. But external forces are only half the story. The internal forces, particularly our subconscious mind, may be even more powerful in shaping our reality. Imagine your mind as an iceberg. And unlike the Titanic, we're actually going to pay attention to what's beneath the surface. The conscious mind, your awareness right now, is merely the visible tip, representing about 5% of your mental processes. The other 95% is busy down there, probably wondering where you put your keys and why you walked into this room. The vast submerged portion, your subconscious, contains beliefs, memories, and patterns that influence your behavior without your awareness. Many of these subconscious patterns formed during childhood, when your critical thinking wasn't fully developed. A harsh word from a parent, a humiliating moment at school, or a frightening experience. All these can create lasting imprints that shape how you perceive reality decades later. Research in neuroscience has revealed something startling. Most decisions are made subconsciously before we become consciously aware of them. Your brain decides, then creates a story to explain the decision, and you believe you made a conscious choice. This fundamentally challenges our notion of free will and highlights the need for greater self-awareness. The power of self-awareness cannot be overstated. By becoming conscious of subconscious patterns, we can begin to change them and make more intentional choices. This is where practices like mindfulness meditation prove invaluable. They help us observe our thoughts without judgment and recognize the hidden patterns driving our behavior. Now, let's venture into more controversial territory: the misinterpretation of spiritual teachings. Throughout history, spiritual traditions have offered profound insights into the nature of reality. Yet these teachings can be misunderstood, misinterpreted, or deliberately misused. We've seen cults exploit followers by twisting spiritual concepts. We've witnessed the commercialization of ancient practices, reducing profound wisdom to marketable products. Nothing says spiritual enlightenment quite like a $200 yoga mat made from ethically sourced rubber with chakra-aligning properties. Buddha himself would probably be confused by our mindfulness scented candles and Zen bathroom decor. Blind faith in spiritual teachings, without critical thinking or discernment, can lead to disillusionment or harm. True spirituality requires both open-heartedness and sharp discernment. It invites questions rather than demanding unquestioning acceptance. Many spiritual traditions share a common insight. What we perceive as reality is largely illusion. In Vedanta, the concept of Maya describes the veil that blinds us to ultimate truth. Buddhism teaches that reality is constructed by the mind, and liberation comes from seeing through this construction. These aren't abstract philosophical concepts. They're practical insights into the nature of perception. Awareness is the key that unlocks these insights. By cultivating awareness, we can observe the forces shaping our reality and begin to transcend them. By questioning our beliefs and perceptions, we move closer to truth. So how can you begin to uncover these hidden forces in your own life? Start by cultivating awareness through mindfulness practices. Observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Notice when you react automatically to situations. These reactions often reveal subconscious programming. Reflect on your beliefs and question their origins. Ask yourself, why do I believe this? Where did this belief come from? Does it serve me? You might discover that your fear of success came from that one time in third grade when you won the spelling bee and immediately tripped on your way to collect the prize. Our brains love to make these kinds of totally rational connections. You might be surprised to discover how many of your beliefs were inherited rather than consciously chosen. Limit external influences by being selective about the media you consume. Take regular breaks from news and social media. Seek diverse perspectives that challenge your assumptions rather than reinforce them. Connect with your inner truth through practices that quiet the mind. Spend time in nature. Meditate. Journal your thoughts. These simple practices can help you distinguish between authentic insights and conditioned responses. The forces shaping our reality are powerful, but they aren't unbreakable. By cultivating awareness and questioning the illusion, you can begin to see beyond the constructed reality that surrounds you. This journey isn't always comfortable. Seeing through illusions can be disorienting at first, but it leads to greater freedom, authenticity, and connection with what's real. As you peel back the layers of conditioning, you may discover a reality more vibrant, interconnected, and meaningful than you ever imagined. What lies beyond the illusion of reality? That's what we'll explore in our next video. Until then, stay curious, question everything, and remember, reality might be stranger and more wonderful than you think.